Hello, sleepyheads. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Remy and I make ASMR videos. And for today's video, we're keeping it very casual. I'm going to show you what I got at Trader Joe's today, just a very small grocery haul, and tell you a little bit about my day. So let's get into it. Today is January 25th, 2024. If you've ever noticed, we sometimes putting in the caption, putting below the video a date of when I filmed it. That may just seem like a neurotic flourish, because you may be like, I don't care when you filmed it, but I often do that if that video has been sitting for a while and it's older and I've taken a while to edit it and put it out. I don't know why, but just sometimes, because it feels like everything changes so quickly, and when I'm making references to the weather and the season, the time of year, holidays, what I've been up to lately, I just think sometimes it's important to note if that moment in time was in fact 6 months prior to whenever I'm posting it. So, just for you to know. So, the day I'm talking about when I say telling you about my day, in case you're wondering, that moment in time was January 25th. January 25th, 2024. So, from Trader Joe's, I'm going to start with the freezer section food first because it's got condensation all over it and I want to get it back. I want to get it back in the bag and wipe down my tabletop. Some of these are familiar staples. The vegetable gyoza, always a favorite, and something easy and low demand that I can make for myself while my partner is at work tonight. He'll be at work long past the dinner hour, getting home at maybe 10:30 or 11 at the earliest. Some Thursdays he's been known to get home at 1:30. So if you've never had these, I highly recommend them. I love them. We recently tried a brand from, a local grocery store. They were terrible by comparison, so we realized how spoiled we've been because these are pretty affordable. I think they're $4.79. Not too bad for how many you get either. I think you get more even than is pictured here. I can easily fill an 11 or 12 inch pan, a pan of that diameter. And by fill I mean they're almost coming up over the edges and I have to rotate them out so that some don't brown and even burn quicker than the others, because there's barely enough space to have them all nestled in. But I like to make the whole bag and just go crazy. Okay, that's really wet. What do I do? Oh, I know. Give me a second. Next, I got the viral, let me just turn this a little bit. I got the viral vegan kimbap. I've never had kimbap. I don't think I have. This is a Korean tofu and vegetable seaweed rice roll. Sorry, you probably didn't see that the first time around. Korean tofu and vegetable seaweed rice roll. Seaweed rice roll. Korean tofu and vegetable seaweed rice roll. That makes a nice sound. Oh, you still couldn't see it. Korean tofu and vegetable seaweed rice roll. It's a sweet little sound. I think you can microwave these. I think that's recommended. But we don't have a microwave. So I'm just gonna thaw them out and eat them cold. Although they're mostly thawed already, judging by all this condensation. And I actually got 2 because I thought my partner would like to try them too. So I got him his own roll. He'll have to pick out the carrots, though he's allergic to carrots. And raw carrots are especially irritating to him, like he has a stronger histamine response to raw carrots than to cooked ones. And judging by the photo, these look like shreds, little shreds of raw carrots. Hard to say though. Then I got another tried and true, another reliable favorite. Sorry, I'm struggling a little more with soft speaking today, I think because I'm tired. I filmed a longer soft spoken video yesterday, like well over an hour, probably closer to an hour and a half. It'll come out before this one, pretty sure. And that was a piece of cake. But I guess my luck has run out. I am a little underslept and I'll get to that. So I apologize for all the creaks and probably more cuts, more frequent cuts as I'm cutting around, like losing my voice. So yeah, I've shown you this ramen, this spicy miso instant ramen, in hauls before. It's just easy. I'm still enjoying the squiggle cut noodles that feel a little more substantial, but they're a little less easy and a little less consistent. Like if I don't get the timing exactly right, the texture can be a little off, in my opinion. They can get a little gummy. So I'm not fully disenchanted. I just returning to something super easy. Sorry, I've got tired eyes. Do you see? And then I got annoyed because of all these plane sounds, and then I got annoyed. And then I got this habanero sauce. I've spoken of it in a few videos. This is a repurchase. The first bottle my partner picked up because he thought I would like it. And boy did I. I made fast work of that, given that it's a pretty hot sauce. It's pretty spicy. Sorry, I'm very bleary-eyed today. Hopefully it's making you sleepy too. And lastly, oh, the light is changing in the room. Did you see that? It got darker. Which in turn for you probably makes things look brighter because there's less ambient light competing, I think. I don't know how it works, but I just know that there's more of like a spotlight effect happening, and the light in the rest of the room goes down, gets a little darker, dims, then this light feels a lot brighter, looks a lot brighter. So lastly I repurchased the daily facial sunscreen, which is by now not a secret. Everyone knows it's a pretty good dupe for the Super Goop, and it's like a quarter of the price. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my day today. Obviously I went to the grocery store, but there were a few things that came before that. And after. So this morning I woke up pretty early, a little before 6. We're gonna hold for this plane. Yeah, I got up very early because I had a cat sitting gig just to feed the cat breakfast and stay with him for a few hours, play with him, make sure he got some good love and attention before being left alone for a few hours. Until one of his owners gets home. And my partner came with me and helped me with the cat sitting. It's usually a one-person job, but we had a couple's audition to run to right after, and I would have had to get up at like 4 or 5 if we'd had to come home in between. So he came with me and we went directly after cat sitting. We went straight to the couple's audition. It's interesting. A lot of casting agencies, casting directors want real couples. They place a lot of emphasis, a lot of importance on that because they want something genuine about that to shine through, and in their ad campaign, in their commercial, whatever it may be. And I just think it's a little silly because you have to trust actors to be actors. why mandate that it be a real couple? Actors are perfectly capable of evincing that energy with authenticity, especially when scenes don't call for any sort of intimacy, any kissing or anything like that. Let actors act. That's what I always say. But I don't mind, because in a way it gives my partner and me, at least in theory, it gives us an advantage, because we are a couple and we do both act. So, and it's really fun to have those experiences with him. It's fun to go out for something together. So we went to this in-person audition and got in and out pretty quickly. We were the first up for the day, and then we drove home together, stopping at the grocery on the way, and he read some lines for me when I filmed, and when I put myself on tape. So I filmed myself. If you're not aware, sometimes you submit tapes of yourself as an actor, and sometimes, more and more seldomly, you go in person for the initial audition. It's not uncommon these days to still go in person for callbacks, the kind of second round or third round of an audition process as they're narrowing down their choices. But it's less and less common to go in for the initial audition rather than just putting yourself on tape and submitting digitally. Did I say digitally funny? I get so tongue-tied when I'm soft speaking, and especially when I'm tired. Speaking of being tired, I'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, he helped me film a solo audition. So we both have representation, and sometimes we are submitted as a couple, and that's what's being sought, being cast, and sometimes we audition solo. So got that done, and we're both super underslept because we were out late last night and found out about the audition like as we were walking out the door for a double date for a movie night with friends. We'd actually already planned to go see a movie last night, and they reached out and asked us if any of the movies, now that the Oscar nominations are out, they're also really into film, and asked if any of the nominees were films, any of the nominated films, if we hadn't seen any of them yet and wanted to, check something off our list, our viewing list with them. And we told them that we already had tickets to see Origin, Ava DuVernay's new film. So they got tickets. There were still seats right next to ours, and we all went up last night and we saw the movie. I was not prepared. It was so good, and it wrecked me. I was already pretty sad yesterday, and I was not prepared for how gorgeously, terribly sad that movie is. There was a scene with falling leaves, just to not spoil anything, but there was kind of not really a montage, but an extended scene with falling leaves, this gorgeous visual that I was losing it. Like, I didn't take any tissues with me, and so I was just grabbing whatever I could, like salty, like popcorn napkins, like not, you know what I mean, like napkins I've been using for wiping my hands while I was eating popcorn, and I was just like, I didn't have enough. Didn't have enough in my bundle of napkins to mop up all my tears. So I just had like crumpled napkin in my little panicked hand the whole time, because I was like, I mean, I'm all for crying. I didn't expect it to hit me that hard, because I've seen a lot of very sad movies lately, and rightfully so because of the subject matter. This would be a very affecting movie, but I thought how they dealt with everything was on another level and really effective, and I really felt it. And it got to the point where I was like worried that I was gonna cry my lashes off in public, which is not ideal. So yeah, I wasn't prepared for that. I also like, it's silly. I want to be open with my feelings and, you know, be model vulnerability, and at the same time, I guess on some level I wasn't so keen on like bawling my eyes out with like in the semi-public of this double date, even though I know these people very well and I really like them and I'm very comfortable with them. I was not prepared for how much I would cry. And yeah, there have been a lot of really beautiful movies lately that have really moved me, and I've been really challenging watches. Iron Claw, not at all what I expected, had me crying. All of Us Strangers, what I expected, but way, way, way more devastating than what I expected. Had me crying. Oh my goodness. The Zone of Interest, one of the most upsetting movies I've ever seen. So, yeah, really amazing year for some very, very sad movies. So, yeah, I loved the movie. I loved Ingenue Ellis. She has a hyphenate last name, and I can't remember the second part of her hyphenate. I think for a while she was just Ingenue Ellis, but correct me if I'm wrong. Just because when I was looking her up, I saw her name both with the hyphenate and just as Ingenue Ellis. I don't think I've seen her in anything before, even though her name was very familiar, but she was incredible. I adored her performance, every second of it, and everyone was really great, and the cinematography I thought was gorgeous. It was shot on film, and there were some shots that, a lot of which you see in the trailer, but I mean, I will never get sick of looking at them. They're just so gorgeous. So yeah, great movie. And so we were out a little late and then got these auditions, like got hit with a whole slew of them, and we're really lucky to have representation. But our agent, I mean, I think this is most agents, but she expects you to be on it, and doesn't have a lot of understanding or flexibility in terms of you having a life, having a work schedule. She's definitely like chastised us for not being able to like get off an entire day's work, not being able to get off work at the drop of a hat, like finding out morning of that we have an in-person audition. We're getting a really small turnaround for a virtual one, for a self tape. anytime you say that you may not be able to make it, especially an in-person one, she hits you back with, "Are you serious about being an actor?" Just making sure, but you are serious about this, right? Because you don't have to do it. So, not so thinly veiled threats, which I get. She wants people who will prioritize this. She doesn't want to waste her time. It's just hard because you need to have a survival job and you can't just call out. Like, you have to get your shifts covered, and that's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy thing to do, super last minute. So, yeah, it makes me wonder. Because I feel like a lot of actors are struggling right now. So, for agents to have that expectation, it makes you wonder, like, well, obviously, actors who are, like, who have a lot of savings off which they can live, like, it's great to have savings, but like actors who have enough savings to really live off them in spite of the cost of living, to like safely live off their savings, or are otherwise bankrolled, definitely have an advantage. We already knew that, but it's interesting to hear agents respond to you having, other jobs, as if you're like moonlighting, as if you're like, I don't know, because you're not necessarily making any money from all these auditions. It's not as if you've booked the jobs. So it's funny that they act like you're like cheating on your job a little bit. They're like, "Why are you doing that?" And you're like, "To make rent." So yeah, so certain people have advantages in certain careers, and I have lots of advantages, but not needing to work is not one of them. So it just validates when they respond that way. You feel that other category of actors in the room with you, so to speak, because someone is teaching these agents to think that you should be able to drop everything and go to an audition, They're getting validated in that idea somewhere. So some actors must be able to drop everything. And I do know that there's also, like, most actors will move heaven and earth for an audition, and to make an audition, not just for the opportunity, but to keep their agent happy. So yeah, that's why we got very little sleep, because we didn't want to cancel on our friends, and we needed the money from the cat sitting. We just split it, and needed to make these auditions happen. And then my partner went right to work. He actually went first for a hike with one of his coworkers who seemed a little down lately. So I thought that was very sweet. And they're just gonna go straight to work after, and my partner's gonna be there the rest of the day. Meanwhile, after this, I'm gonna eat a late lunch and watch an episode of Seinfeld. It's a show my partner and I have been watching. I've never seen it before, and he hasn't really either, other than an odd episode here and there. And I just have heard a lot about it, and I wanted to sit down and watch it all the way through. And now we're on season 7, and nearing the end. There are 9 seasons, and I would really like to finish because I am enjoying it, but I also really want to get rid of Netflix. I don't want to be paying that much every month, so trying to finish up. Trying to finish that up and delete the app, cancel my subscription, and before you accuse me of betraying my partner by watching a show or watching together without him when he's not home, I'm just gonna rewatch an episode that I fell asleep during 2 nights ago. So, just to keep myself caught up. And after lunch, I have a lot of cleaning to do. Not a lot, but I still haven't made the bed yet today because of our hectic morning. And I'm gonna do a load of laundry of all of the clothes we wore to cat sit because my partner's super allergic. Not super, obviously, he can be in a space with a cat or we wouldn't have done that this morning. But he's very allergic to cats and very asthmatic, so I don't want to risk it. So I'm gonna have the filters blasting today and get that laundry washed and dried and folded. Get the laundry taken care of, and then I'm going to probably edit my solo audition first and just get that in, and then spend the rest of the day editing ASMR videos. Super excited about how many I have filmed and just having a good schedule for the months to come, at least the next few months. I've got a good catalog of videos. I think I'm getting into a good groove. And then lastly, I really hope to be in bed early tonight because I would love to write in bed for a little bit before I fall asleep. I don't have any tutoring today, but one of my clients just got into college. He's applied a bunch of places, and his first answer, so to speak, was an acceptance. So I'm super excited to know that no matter what else happens, he got in. He's downplaying it. He's like, oh, it's just safety. And I'm like, no, that's wonderful and incredible. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's just a huge load off to know that no matter what, he's going. And it's a school that financially, in terms of the support he can expect to get, it's also a good option. Because people really break the bank going to college. So I'm just glad there's a school that's affordable for him and about which he's excited and to which he's now been accepted. Isn't that incredible? It's been a big push. So, some good news. Some very good news. So, thank you all so much for sitting down with me and looking at my groceries and talking about my day. I'd love to know a bit about your day. You can either tell me about whatever day this happens to fall on, or whenever you're even seeing this, could be after the fact. Tell me about today, whatever that means for you. And otherwise, feel free to tell me what you were doing on January 25th. January 25th. I'm very sleepy. Gosh, I'm so sleepy. Okay, so I hope you are too. So that's a nice segue. So thank you all so much. If I do say so myself, I feel like I should add. So and listening. I hope you get lots and lots of good REM sleep, and as always, I hope all your dreams are sweet.